45. 40 seconds. 35. 30 seconds. Coming up on the Braves Sports Network on this Tuesday, we have the Nate Kilbert and the Landon Bussey programs. That's every Tuesday night at 5 to 5:30. Head coach Nate Kilbert, there he is. That's the Lady Braves head coach Nate Kilbert. And coming up at 5:30, Landon Bussey will join us for the Landon Bussey program. The Braves back on track, a couple of big wins at home, and now we head to Texas, where it's always a mystery. It's always intriguing, even for the Lady Braves. It's always a wild time in Texas. So we'll talk about that. We'll recap the week that was Lady Braves basketball, as the Lady Braves with the win over Alabama State and a 10-point loss to A&M. We'll recap that action and preview the Texas two-step. We'll take a timeout here. The Nate Kilbert program starts after this timeout.
Here at Alcorn, in school sports, it's easy to see the wins. We share some commonalities with one another, so in some ways we're already family.
Seeing everybody, seeing more people that looked like me and had the same mannerisms as me, it was fantastic.
The variety of people here really made me feel at home.
When I stepped on campus, it felt like I was supposed to be here.
When they say the grass is greener here, they really mean it.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure.
$1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
The Nate Kilbert program here on 91.7 WPRL. As you can see, we're on Facebook Live and on the Braves Sports Network YouTube page, Braves Sports Network. Coming up, we have the Nate Kilbert program, the Lady Braves coming off a 1-1 week, the week that was Lady Braves basketball. Big win over Alabama State and a 10-point loss to Alabama A&M. We'll preview Texas Southern and preview the Lady Braves. Will head to Texas. And it's going to be interesting here. We've had our 3 in a row at home, and now the schedule flips, and going to be going to these places twice. At least I am anyway, twice in a 4-day span. But hey, it is what it is, and it's going to be an interesting schedule to say the least. Lady Braves basketball coming up this week as they take on Prairie View and Texas Southern. Texas Southern on Saturday, and on Thursday, Prairie View A&M at the Baby Dome. You can give us a call, 601-877-6595. You can text a question, 601-301-2611. And on X, Tallman Radio. We'll take a quick timeout right here. 1-minute break. We'll get right into it. Lady Braves basketball with head coach Nate Kilbert. Back after this timeout here on the Braves Sports Network.
Here at Alcorn, we understand that we share some commonalities with one another, so in some ways we're already family.
Seeing everybody, seeing more people that looked like me and had the same mannerisms as me, it was fantastic.
The variety of people here really made me feel at home.
When I stepped on campus, it felt like I was supposed to be here.
When they say the grass is greener here, they really mean it.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Crispin, our producers. On the radio side, you're Mario Brooks. And on the video side, the one and only Cedric Tillman. Glad you can join us. Lady Brains head coach Nate Kilbert joining us on the Nate Kilbert program. As you can see, Coach Kilbert looks refreshed and ready to make that trip to Texas coming up. That's, usually we got that Texas trip kind of in the middle of the season and towards the end, but with this new scheduling model, it's not new since Bethune and FAMU coming to the conference. It's different. Someone was asking me earlier today, we're only playing Southern and Grambling once. We're only playing the Alabama teams once. Yep. That's been the scheduling change with Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M coming into the league. You're only playing some teams once a year. The Texas teams will be seeing twice, the Florida teams twice, but we're done with the Alabama teams. Nate Kilbert joining us. Coach, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good, Charles. What about yourself?
Oh, doing okay. Another week in the grinder of SWAC basketball, and the week that was Lady Braves basketball. Alabama State, Alabama A&M rolling into town. Coming off that Jackson State loss, you feel very confident that your team can get back on track. And a 1-1 week, how would you describe the week of Lady Braves basketball at home?
Oh, I would say wow. All over the place. I thought we had a great opportunity to win. Two actually had a bad quarter against A&M that kept us from being 2-2 for the week. Honestly, I thought our kids played well against Alabama State. Probably the best defensive effort and offensive effort from Destiny Brown that she had all year. So that was huge for us. But it's just disappointing to lose to A&M that second game because I feel like we was the better ball club. We didn't have all our scoring, but I feel like we was the better ball club. We just got off to a real slow start. And you can't do that against good teams and think you're going to have a chance to win. And we didn't win that game on Saturday, but we played well enough to win on Thursday.
Well, the highlight, Destiny Brown, you just talked about her, SWAC Player of the Week, averaging 19 points and 10.5 rebounds. A monster 2 games for her. And it just shows you, and it should show everyone, when she comes ready to play and put the team on her back, we can be a tough out for anybody.
Absolutely, there's no question about that. I thought the game against Alabama State was her best game overall on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. She really dominated Harris, and that's not easy to do. She dominated on the offensive side, and she dominated on the defensive side. She shut her down, and we was really worried about Harris before the game because we felt like if Harris ever got going and the other kids played as well as they played, they have been a real tough out. But Harris never really got going, and I think Destiny was a big reason why she didn't, because she was solid defensively, and we don't normally see that from Destiny on both sides of the ball. I thought she did a great job.
Is Destiny Brown a double-double machine? When she's on, is that 19 and 10 this last week? Is that we can plaster that each and every game from her? At least that, maybe more than that on some nights.
She's a double machine, even if she's not on. That's the scary part about it. But I just think she's a long way from reaching her potential, and I don't know if she's gonna ever reach her potential because I guess people think I be picking on her a lot when I say she should be a 2015 person. She has the skill set to do it, and she's just not consistent enough and not aggressive enough. Don't take enough shots during a lot of games to be able to do it. But I thought she was real solid on both sides of the ball on Thursday night, and that's really all you can ask for when she plays that way on both sides of the ball. And she gets you double, and she defend the best. In my eyes, one of the best players and one of the best centers in the conference. She shuts her down. That's all you can ask for. That's some big time basketball right there.
Well, let's get into the week of Lady Braves basketball. It started with Alabama State, and you talked about pace and tempo. This is a different Alabama State team, and thankfully we only see them once this year. We won't see them again until next year when we open up at Jackson, Alabama State and A&M. And Alabama A&M. This was a different team than what we expect. If you go back through history, Crystal Kidd, and they've got the 6'4", the 6'5", the 6'6". They want to slow you down. They want to drag the game out. But Alabama State, I can't remember the last time a Frida Jackson coach team was getting up and running. So the fast pace favored them, where in years past has been the opposite, and then it's been the opposite for us with the success. So were you surprised that with this group with Alabama State that they got the ball up and down the floor with effectiveness? Because that's exactly what they were trying to do.
Very surprised. Very surprised. They kind of shocked me a little bit because I expected them to be more physical, slower paced game for them. Matter of fact, we wanted to pick the tempo up a little bit more simply because we thought they wanted to play slow. So they really surprised us in the style that they brought on Thursday night, and they kind of that's one reason the game was so close because they hit us with something that was unexpected. We didn't expect for them to play that way. We didn't expect for their guards to take the shots that they was taking. We thought they was going to be trying to pound it down inside to Harris, and they're going to play off of her. But now I do think that Destiny caused a lot of that to go the way that it went simply because they couldn't get the ball to Harris. They had to do something different. And I think that was a big reason why they played so fast. I think that was a big reason why they guys took a lot more shots than they normally take. But I know from talking to the coaching staff after the game, a couple of days later, they wasn't happy with that. They didn't want that style. They wanted to play the style they used to playing, and they kind of was upset at their guards for playing that way. But I think they allowed them to go ahead and play that way because they was kind of successful playing that way on that particular night. So when you're successful doing something, you kind of have to let it play out, and I think that's what they did.
Well, 61-54 was a good first half. It was 30 for the Lady Braves and 33. It was a 3-point Alabama State lead at the break. Coach, talk about the first 20 minutes there. Were you pleased with the pace and just the execution?
Well, I was pretty pleased with the pace. Anytime you can keep the game low scoring, we feel like we can keep it low scoring and we can get in the high 30s, lower 30s. We're okay. But my thing about all of that is at the beginning of the show, I told you that I thought if we could get in the lower 60 or high 60s and keep them in the 50s, we would have a chance to win the game. Anytime Alabama State scores in the 60s, you're in trouble dealing with them because they're so solid defensively. So I thought the pace was real good. We kept it a low scoring game with 33 points. I thought it shouldn't have been that much, to be honest with you. I thought we made some. We're not closing quarters well. We didn't close the second quarter nor the first quarter well, and that's what we got to get back to. We got to get back to being aggressive in the beginning, starting out good and closing quarters better. If we start doing that a lot better, you'll see scores start being in our favor in the first quarter, second quarter, and that's what we talk to our kids about beginning of quarters and closing quarters. We just got to do a better job. We haven't been very good at all in that, especially the beginning. If Charles, you look at most of our games, we just started off too slow. You can't start off that slow against conference teams and think you're going to have a chance to win. I mean, I think that's the reason why we're 1-2 now because of our slow starts. We got to find a way to correct it. We got to get better at it.
Well, one bad quarter against Jackson, one bad quarter against Alabama A&M. We played 2 good quarters. We're sitting here 3-0 and really looking pretty good. Speaking of pretty good, in that Alabama State game, we were good from beyond the arc. They went to a zone and we made them pay. 10 triples in the game. Maya Claytor with 4. We really punished them with that 2-3 zone, which results obviously in outside shots. You make the zone shift, you get what you want from the perimeter, and that's what you expect, especially from Maya Claytor. That's what she's there for. And you talk about catch and shoot, no hesitation, confident. Maya Claytor with 4 triples to kind of pace the Lady Braves from beyond the arc.
Yeah, she was big for us, and shooting the tray ball for us. But we need that from her. That's her job. That's what we expect from her. And when she's not making that shot, she's got to feel like she's letting her team down. But we know she's quite capable of making the shot on a consistent basis. And Maya just got to shoot the ball. I tell you, when you're in the game, you got to shoot. I mean, you open, take the shot. We don't want you forcing anything. And Maya's kind of like, she feel like somebody close to her, she's forcing the shot. But a lot of times she's not. She's just not taking the shot. But I was real happy to see her take some of the shots that she took, and she knocked them down. And all she needed was a little confidence when it comes to her. She need to see one go through the rim. And I thought she got an opportunity to see 2 straight go. And I could see at one point she was feeling it a little bit. I thought we missed her on a couple opportunities where she could have really got going. And that's the area we got to get better in. When we got a shooter going like Maya, we got to be able to find her and get the ball to her because I thought she did a great job of shooting the ball. I thought EK Polo did a great job of shooting the ball. We're just not finding them when we need to find them when they got it going. And I think that's going to be key moving forward that we start to do a better job of that.
And it was a good job in the third quarter, 20-10. We outscored them in the third quarter, and that was really the difference in the game. So in the fourth quarter, Coach, just talk about that. It was a a decent lead for your team. It was uh, 50-42, and we were able to kind of hold forward in that fourth quarter. What was the key to kind of closing the game out?
Well, I think we got relaxed, Charles, in that fourth quarter. To be honest with you, we had that little lead. I think we kind of relaxed a little bit, and I think they hit us and woke us up because they took the lead in that fourth quarter, and we could have easily, you know, dropped our heads and start feeling sorry for ourselves, but we didn't. We got ourselves back together, and we started to move the ball around and get the ball to people who was putting it in the basket, and I think that was real huge for us simply because we did a better job of executing when the game got tight. And we always tell our kids we want to be a good half-court team as well as play at our own pace. We want to play a little faster. Sometimes we can do that. I thought we did a very good job in the fourth quarter of setting the pace. Like the last 4 or 5 minutes of that game, we did a good job of setting the pace, and we made some big shots that helped us to be able to pull away.
Well, Taylor Smith's three made it 52-50 Alabama State with 7:28 left. So for Alabama State, they had the lead there, but then we run on a nice run. We run on a 9-2 run, and that kind of really helped put it away. So they had the lead, but we were able to get it right back. And in games past and years past, team hits us in the fourth quarter, we kind of fade away, but we didn't this time. What was the big shot in that fourth quarter, you think, that kind of helped turn the table for us? Destiny Brown tied the game at 52, and then she kind of took Maya Claytor hit a three to put us up 4, and that really gave us the confidence that we needed going down the stretch.
Well, I think you just said it. I think the Maya Claytor three was a huge one. That's the one that kind of broke their back a little bit. That's the one that kind of knocked their confidence down a little bit because it was a crucial shot. It put us up 4 points. But it's the fact that she was able to take that shot and make that shot at that time. I think it's going to help her down the road simply because that was a huge shot for us. I mean, she missed that shot right there, and they get that rebound. They go down. This game could easily be tied. But I thought Maya did a good job of staying focused, shooting the ball with confidence. She had a lot of family down this past weekend too. I think that played a big part in it too. She wanted to play well for them, and I thought she did a good job in that game of making big shots for us. You always got to have somebody who's confident and who's willing to take those shots and willing to make them.
Well, we won the game, Coach, but despite the fact that we were minus 13 on the boards, 42-29, how concerned are you with this team night in and night out on the glass?
Well, I'm very concerned about it simply because I just don't think we're going to the boards. Our guards are standing out. And being as small as we're not a real big team, anyways. We're a small team, so we got to rebound by committee. Everybody's got to be involved in the rebound. And if it ain't no more than 2 or 3 rebounds from our point guard, 2 or 3 rebounds from our 2 guard, and then maybe Destiny get big time rebound. Maybe Cheatham will get big time rebound. But everybody's got to chip in on that. It ain't a one person thing. Everybody's got to rebound the ball in order for us to have an opportunity to win the rebounding battles. And we have won some rebounding battles against some good teams. So we just got to get back to doing what we've been doing, going to the boards and being prepared to rebound the ball.
Well, the Lady Braves with a big win over Alabama State. Then you come back against Dawn Brown's team. One of the big storylines of the offseason, a couple, obviously, Tamika Reed leaving, going to Charlotte, leaving Jackson State, and then Dawn Brown leaving UAPB to take the Alabama A&M job. They've got a lot of stuff going on there. Sam Shade, the new football coach, a lot of new facility upgrades, and Dawn Brown taking over. 66-56, Coach. 22-6, Alabama A&M in the first quarter. Can we start there? Can we stop there?
I think we can do both. I think we start there and stop there because honestly, once you look back on it, it was the game. It decided the game. I know a lot of people say, well, you don't want to think the first quarter decided the game, but it really did. Because you see, we dominated the rest of the quarters. Well, I mean, we ended up winning all 3 quarters. After that, we just got too deep in the first quarter. And I'm not saying we should have been leading that first quarter, Charles, but the game should have been close. We missed just too many little shots around the bucket, too many free throws. If we make them, at the worst, the score would have been 22-18, 22-17. Something like that. And then you give yourself a chance. Then you win the quarters like you won. You won those quarters. You end up winning the game maybe by 2 or 3 points. Easily. You can't have quarters like we had and expect to beat anybody, to be honest with you, not just Alabama A&M. That was a bad quarter. And it wasn't because we wasn't getting what we wanted. We got the ball what we wanted. We got the shots that we wanted. We just did not finish plays. You know, it was cold. It was cold up in there. And then we shot the ball like we was ice cold, like our fingers was numb or something. We just wasn't finishing plays. And that was the most disappointing part about it. We just didn't finish plays. And it wasn't one or two people. It was all of them. I mean, even Destiny missed a lot of little shots right around the bucket. EK Polo missed some little shots right around the bucket. Cheatham, all of our kids missed shots right around the bucket. So it ain't one person we can point to missing these shots because it was the whole team.
Well, we just saw there on the highlight, Cheatham followed up and made the shot, but she missed the initial shot. In the second half, Coach, we were down by as many as 17, and then we kind of clawed away at it, clawed away. We were down 14 going late and down 13 going into the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter. And then we made a little bit of a push, Coach. We got as close as 8, 55-47. Do you think it was just one of those games where fighting upstream, and you see it all the time in basketball? You're down big and you're clawing and you spend so much energy to get halfway back in it, but needed a stop or two or a bucket or two to continue the momentum and just didn't have that additional push because you were down so much trying to fight uphill?
Well, you know, I'll say that might have something to do with it with y'all, but you still got to make your layups. You still got to make your free throws. You know, uh, anytime you get those opportunities, and we got a lot of those opportunities. That's the reason why we couldn't pull ahead because we when we got it down to 8, we probably missed at least two chances to make free throws, and we just missed them to even cut the lead, even less than what it was. So the opportunity was there. We didn't follow through. We didn't follow through with what we needed to do to give ourselves a chance to come back. We've been down like that before. We've been down like that before, so that wasn't nothing unusual for us. We did all the things right to get back in, give ourselves a chance. We did everything right, but finished the play. We didn't make the free throw. You got the foul call. You didn't make the free throw. You got the open layup. You didn't make the layup. You didn't make the little 8-foot jump shot. All of those things you gotta follow through on those to give yourself a chance to win the game. Especially when you put yourself down because you wasn't doing those things. You wasn't making layups. You wasn't making free throws. That's the reason why you're down. And then when you start to come back, you continue to do the same thing. And that just shows you how important free throw shooting is in this game. I mean, it can help you keep a lead, it can help you build a lead, and it can keep you from getting back in a game. And those are the things that really hurt us: free throw shooting and not finishing plays around the bucket.
Well, we missed 10 free throws, 15 of 25. So that was a huge deal. Destiny Brown, 25 and 12 as the Lady Braves lose a tough one. So, Coach, what was the lesson learned coming out of that game? Just trying to get back on track. We did, but then we let that slip away. But you said you're still encouraged. You're not discouraged despite not coming out in that first quarter. A lot of basketball ahead of us. And even though we would like to have a winning record coming out of that 3-game homestand, we're 1-2. But you have a chance to kind of get it back as we go to Texas.
Yeah, we do, Charles. And if we was getting taking bad shots and wasn't getting the ball where we wanted to get it, I would feel different. But what we executing, we get what we want. We're just not finishing plays now. And now it's a matter of now the concentration level and the focus got to get better. And our kids know that. They know they have to make those little easy shots around the bucket. They know they have to make free throws. It's something we talk about every day in practice. We shoot them every day in practice. We run and shoot them every day in practice. So we are happy with some of the things we did in the game against A&M. Even in losing, we felt like we got what we wanted, and we really feel like A&M just had more points than what we had. They really didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. We didn't do the things we needed to do to win the game because we felt like we dominated them when it came to getting the ball what we wanted to get it and giving ourselves a chance to get easy baskets. And we just didn't finish those plays. So we confident that we had to play them again in a tournament, and we feel like we got a chance to win, a great chance of winning. Neither one of those teams that left our home stand, including Jackson State, we don't feel like we can beat. I mean, in the past, Jackson was dominant. Jackson has a good basketball team now, but they ain't dominant like that. A&M has a good basketball team, but so far we hadn't played no dominant team. We hadn't played nobody who's superior to us. we feel like we're just as good as they are if we can get all our packages together and do what we need to do. And it starts by making free throws and making layups. If you can't do those things, you're not going to beat anybody. I don't care who it is. It can be the last place team. I don't even know who that is right now, but it can be the last place team in the conference. You're not going to beat them if you're not making free throws and making easy shots.
Lady Braves head coach Nate Kilbert. Coach, question that's come in on the text line, 601-301-2611. Coach, as always, people talk about recruiting. Coach, talk about recruiting the Vicksburg area. People, folks from Vicksburg. I live in Vicksburg, and that gets talked about in terms of your philosophy in recruiting Vicksburg, because they always, the Missy Gators always have a good basketball team. What's your philosophy in terms of getting up to Vicksburg and looking at those young ladies up there?
Well, Charles, what we're trying to do is we like to recruit all the kids in our surrounding areas that can help us. We're trying to recruit the Vicksburg area. We're trying to recruit the Port Gibson area, the Natchez area. We got coaches calling us from all around those areas about kids that can help us, that they feel can help us. But we got to feel the same way too. I think there are some good kids coming along in the Vicksburg area that we got to get our hands on and convince them to come to Alcorn. There's some kids I think in the Natchez area that we got to get our hands on. But these got to be kids that we feel like can help our program, get to the next level. And they got to want to come to it once we recruit them too. It ain't just about us going up there looking at these kids. These kids got to want to come to Alcorn as well as we recruiting them. But we think our area is going to have some good kids coming out in the next couple of years. We just got to get out there and let them know that we're interested in them.
Appreciate that question. Now talking about the Missy Gators up in Vicksburg. Well, Coach, let's look at what we got coming up. We got the Texas two-step starting with Prairie View on Thursday. Prairie View has struggled. There's no doubt about that. They lost to Valley. And so you look at that Sandy Pugh coach team, always tricky there. When you go there, it's never what you expect it to be. So what's concerning about going to PVU and trying to come out of there with a win?
Charles, first of all, let's get this straight. Valley ain't no ham. Valley has a very good basketball team. Valley has a very good basketball team. They got a lot of kids who can really shoot the ball. They put you in a situation where they play so dismantled and so unorganized. It seems like, but it's really organized basketball for them, and that's something that's hard to deal with when you got kids who ain't afraid of anything, who don't never see a bad shot, and they start to make those shots. I watched that game against Prairie View. Valley would have beat a lot of the teams in our conference on that particular night. The way they were shooting the ball, I think Jones went 5 for 6 from the 3-point line, and they would have been a difficult team for anybody to beat the night that they beat Prairie View. Prairie View didn't play that bad. Valley just hit them with a lot of threes, and they came at them with a fast break. And they just had Prairie View turn upside down. I think that was the biggest thing. They didn't allow Prairie View big kids to even get involved in the game because it was up and down pace, and that what makes them so tough. But Prairie View has a very good ball club. You see, they responded and beat Pine Bluff at Pine Bluff on Monday. So we know our work is going to be cut out for us, and that was a road win for them. Now they're going back home. We know they're going to play tougher at home. We got to be prepared for that. Prairie View's always been a tough game for us. I think every game we won or lost, it's been no more than 3 or 4 points every game since I've been there. So we're looking forward to a tough game. We just have to be up for the task.
And quickly, Texas Southern, what do you expect there?
Well, some people are telling me they are the most talented team in the league. I haven't really watched them. I glanced at them for a second, but hadn't really did no scouting report on them to watch them. They're very long. They're very athletic. From what I saw in the little time that I watched them, but from what I'm hearing, they're the most talented team in the league. That don't
That's
mean
Lady Braves head coach Nick.
that don't mean that they're the best team. I said they're the most talented team. So
Yeah,
far
yeah,
they're undefeated though. So.
yeah. And coming out of Texas, if you can get one, you've accomplished your mission. If you get two, really, really job well done. And the Lady Braves will try to get two coming out of Texas. That's Lady Braves head coach Nate Kilbert, ladies and gentlemen. Coach, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you down at PVU 6 o'clock on Thursday. Then isn't it 3 o'clock on Saturday at Texas Southern?
And you know what, y'all? I really don't know the time of that game. I thought it was going to be round 2. So that tells you how
Yeah.
much I looked into it. I thought it was going to be round 2 or 3, I think.
Well, we'll
So
narrow down the times as we get closer
yeah.
to it.
Okay.
Coach, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you down in Texas. Have a good trip.
All right, Charles. Appreciate it.
That's Lady Braves head coach Nate Kilbert, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a time out here. We'll step aside for about 3 minutes. When we come back, Landon Bussey will grace us with his presence with the Landon Bussey program. 2 big wins for the Braves, hard-fought wins over Alabama State and Alabama A&M. What about A&M with that 3 overtime game with Jackson last night? So we'll talk all about it with Landon Bussey coming up in 3 minutes here on the Braves Sports Network.
In school sports, it's easy to see the win.